Welcome you guys to the 412 Homestead. Today we're going to make one of our family's favorites, and that is Fat Man's Delight. Today we're going to make it with some chocolate pudding, but we're going to start off right now and we're going to make our crust. Crust is real easy. It is a cup of flour, and y'all, I am going to do it simple. I'm mixing it up right in the pan that I am going to bake it in. So get you a cup of flour. Just sprinkle that in the bottom of your 9 by 13 pan. Then I've already melted a stick of butter. Takes a stick of butter, just pour it right in there. And then we've got to chop up a cup of nuts. And I'm using pecans. You can use whatever you want to, but I like pecans. So that's what we're doing today. And you know, I don't know why you couldn't use this very same crust for any other kind of dessert you want to make, if you wanted to make pie or whatever. But this is the Fat Man's Delight crust. And you'll need to be preheating your oven, 350 degrees. When we get this all mixed together, what we're going to do is we're going to press it down in our 9 by 13. It's just going to cover the bottom. It doesn't go up the sides. It's just the bottom. Once we get it all pressed in, then we're going to bake it for 18 to 20 minutes. And I'm going to get to chopping these pecans and we'll get it all spread out there for you. Okay, you guys, we got all those pecans chopped. Now this is a cup of pecans. We're just going to dump that right in there. And I'm just going to stir it with my spatula. You can stir it with a spoon, whatever you want to do. It's just going to create a little dough. And, you know, I'm all about saving a dish or two to wash. So that's why we're just going to mix it up right in the bottom of our pan. And I know when you make this, you're going to think, man, that's not enough. That's not going to cover the bottom of that pan. But trust me, it will. I've made this so many times, and I've thought the same thing every time I mix it up is, man, this is not going to be enough. But it is. By the time you press it out, you want to make sure you get it mixed good. You want to get that melted butter incorporated all with that flour and pecans. And it's going to bake up just a nice golden brown. And then once it's done, we'll have to let it cool, because then we've got 3 more layers to put on there. We're going to put a Cool Whip cream cheese powdered sugar layer on there. Then we're going to top it with our chocolate pudding. Now you can use any kind of flavor that you like. If you want to do a butterscotch is really good, or if you want to do coconut cream, that's really good, but our favorite is chocolate. So we're just going to press that out in here. There goes my oven. We're just right on time. It's telling me that it's preheated to 350 degrees, and we're just going to keep mashing that in there. And it will be enough. You'll think that, oh, it's not going to be enough, it's not going to cover, but when you keep pressing that together, it'll be just fine. Y'all, we needed this dessert after the week that we have had. Previous video, go check that out. It's the 412 burning. It's the call that nobody wants to get when their property is on fire. Actually, it's our parents' property, but we all live out here, and fire blew through, and I don't know if where you live it's like our conditions, but we're in drought conditions out here, and thank the good Lord, everything was still standing, everybody's safe, nobody lost any houses. Then this morning we were woke up to tornado warning in our area, 80-mile-an-hour winds coming through in places. So today we're going to celebrate a Sunday dinner with some Fat Man's Delight. All right, you guys, you can see that I got that all mashed out. It did fit in there. So what we're going to do is we're going to put it in our oven. We're going to bake that for 18 to 20 minutes. We're going to pull it out, put it on a cooling rack. We're going to let it set while we mix up our other ingredients. Okay, you guys, we got that crust all baked. We've got it cooled, and we're going to go on with our second layer. Now, our second layer is a box. Let's see, I just threw that away. I wanted to say 8 ounce, but we'll make sure. Yes, 8 ounce box of cream cheese. And we'll get that dumped in here. And we're going to add in a cup of powdered sugar. And we're going to mix that together. And once we get that beat together, I'm just going to use my little old hand mixer here today. But once we get the powdered sugar and the cream cheese mixed together, we're going to add in 8 ounces of Cool Whip. Now, I bought a 16-ounce container of Cool Whip, so I'm just going to eyeball about half of that. Okay, we got our cream cheese in. We're going to, and we're not worrying about sifting any powdered sugar. We're just going to dump it in there because we're going to beat it up. And it will be smooth enough to spread over our crust that we just baked. Don't start off crazy, you all. If you've got it too high, you're going to have powdered sugar everywhere. So you guys see why I use my big mixer? It would help if I would have started out with cream cheese. That would have been probably room temperature, but we're just jumping in. It's cold, so it's really taking a little toll on the mixer here. It's warming up and it's making it easier to beat. We're going to get that all mixed up. And then we're going to add our Cool Whip. Y'all, that was pretty loud, and I'm sure you're saying, what in the heck? But this is what happens when you start out with colder cream cheese. And I should have let it set out, but we're trying to do this between and after church, and so it's all gummed up here. I'm going to try to get it off the beaters, and we're going to add in our Cool Whip. It'll be ready to spread then. Okay, we got it beat up. Little noisy, but that's all right. Okay, so we're going to guess about half of this container of Cool Whip. The other half, we're going to use it on the top of our third layer, which is going to be the chocolate pudding. So I'm going to put just probably a little bit more in here. Yeah, that'll be good. We're going to use that on the top, and then we're going to sprinkle it with some more chopped pecans. So we're going to get this mixed up, and we'll get it on top of our crust. Okay, you guys, we got that all mixed up. I'm not even going to clean that off there. I'm going to save those beaters, and that's what we're going to use to mix up our chocolate pudding. But this is the consistency that we've got, a nice creamy layer of Cool Whip, cream cheese, and powdered sugar. Now we're going to spread that on top of our cooled pie crust. And I will tell you that sometimes when you spread this on, it'll try to pull your pie crust up off the pan. That's okay. If it does it, don't worry about it, y'all. Just pour the stuff on there and spread it out, and it will be just fine. But we'll see what we got today. So we're just going to pour this in on top of our crust. That's going to be a nice thick layer of some sweet but creamy goodness that goes well with our chocolate pudding. Now I have had, like I said, butterscotch is wonderful. I don't know why you couldn't do maybe this layer instead of putting chocolate pudding. Maybe you want a pie filling on there. Maybe you want to do a cherry pie filling and then top it with Cool Whip. Just use your imagination. But we're just going to spread this right on top of our cooled pie crust. And remember, that was just a stick of butter, a cup of sugar, and a cup of chopped pecans. Pecans is what we use. My mom usually buys us a bag of pecans at Christmas time each year, and we're thankful for that. We usually use them in whatever, Fat Man's Delight, fudge, cookies, chocolate chip cookies with pecans in them. But just spread that all the way to the edge. Try to get your layer pretty even. Not a big deal if you don't, but that just spread out so nice and pretty. Okay, you all, that's what we've got. So far, that's our second layer. Now we're going to make our third layer. We're going to get out our milk and our Jell-O, and we're going to get ready to get that mixed up. All right, you guys, we got those other layers done. Now we're going to go on to the pudding mix. What I bought was 3 packages of chocolate fudge. It's the instant pudding. It's the 4.5 cup servings. It's the 3.9 ounce boxes that I got. I got 3 of those, and it does say 2 cups of milk, 2 cups of cold milk per box, but I'm not going to put a full 2 cups per box. This would be 6 cups. I'm actually going to do 5 cups of milk because I want this to be firm so that when we cut it, the chocolate pudding doesn't run everywhere. So I'm going to measure out in my measuring cup here. Get me 4 cups. And I'll come back and I'll grab another cup. And I'm just going to mix that up with my hand mixer again. My old trusty hand mixer that sounds like a rattle trap, but it's okay. It got the job done. I didn't want to dig out the big one just for mixing up the few little things I had to, but so we got us 5 cups of milk in our bowl. And I'm going to dump in the 3 boxes of chocolate pudding. And like I can't reiterate enough how it's not just chocolate you can do. You can do any flavor that you want to do to make this, and it's going to be wonderful. But like I said, my brother has hinted all weekend long, Susie, I got some ideas for you. You know, Fat Man's Delight would be good. Well, Fat Man's Delight would be good. Hey, Fat Man's Delight would be good. So, you know, we're going to do Fat Man's Delight. The weather here has been rainy. We're expecting another round of storms to come through, and we got a roast and carrots and potatoes and onions going in the crock pot. Actually, I have too many laid out, so I got another crock pot going. We're going to barbecue it. So, but we needed a dessert, and I'm going to take all his hinting, and we're going to do Fat Man's Delight. And besides that, it's another idea for you guys. You need a dessert for Thanksgiving. Fat Man's Delight is a big hit. So we got our 3 boxes in there. We're just going to slowly start to mix this up. It doesn't have to be totally solid. You know, if it can just pour into there, it's going to set up. So we're going to mix this up. We'll be back here in a minute. Okay, you guys, we got that all incorporated there. And like I said, it doesn't have to be totally solid. We just wanted to get it mixed up so that we can pour it on top of our cream cheese mixture here. Now, I'm probably going to put this in the refrigerator for just a little bit to set up because I'm going to spread the rest of our Cool Whip on top of that. So it's easier if it is a little bit set up. We'll see what we got here. And we're just going to pour that right on top. Now, if you like more chocolate pudding, if you want yours to be thicker, add another box of chocolate pudding and adjust your milk. You can make this as thick or as thin as you want to. So we're going to just spread that out to the corners, make sure we got it all level. And I believe I'm going to put this in my ice box for, probably 15-20 minutes. Let it get good and set up. We'll come back and frost it and put them pecans on there. It'll be ready to eat. All right, you guys, I think that's set up good enough. So we are going to spread our Cool Whip on the top here. I kept it in the ice box. This really didn't take that long. It's probably in the ice box for about 10 minutes. And that pudding was set up hard enough that I think it will be where we can spread it. I want to make sure I get all my Cool Whip out of here. All right. Let me get something to spread here. I'm going to get it all off that spoon. I don't like wasting it by leaving it on the utensils because it's just that much we're missing out on the goodies. So just spread that over your pudding, whatever kind. Like I said, we did chocolate. Spread out kind of evenly. It doesn't matter if you've got lumps or waves or whatever in it. I'll just try not to rake down to where I rake into the pudding layer because you'll drag it all over the top of your Cool Whip. And if you do that, don't fret about it. Heck, it's dessert, people. Your family's going to love it. whether it's got a smear in the top of it. Okay, I think that looks good. Now we're going to dump. I didn't know, I didn't measure. I just kept pulling out pecans, and I probably got about 3/4 of a cup of chopped pecans. And hey, if you don't like nuts, skip this step. Don't put them on the top of your Cool Whip. You do have them in the crust, but you don't have to have them on the top if you don't want to. We prefer them on the top, so, and I just try to spread them out as evenly as possible and pretty. Oh, you guys, and look how beautiful that turned out. Fat Man's Delight made with chocolate pudding, y'all, right here on the 412 Homestead. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you did, we'd ask you to like and subscribe to our channel. We're just two old fogies trying to grow our channel here. Hit that notification bell. We're going to try to dig you a piece out of here and let you look at it. But guys, we appreciate you, and we ask that you just watch out for each other. Be kind. It doesn't cost anything to be kind. And until we see you guys again, God bless.